Hi everyone, how are you today? Is spring break going okay for you? I had a really good spring break. I'm so thankful that we had this time because it was getting kind of busy in my world, and to have this little break was really helpful. Um, I just want to talk you through what's happening this week and check in and let you know that I'm here. We're doing social stratification this week, and everything that you need is here. The film People Like Us is just really an interesting kind of in insight into social stratification and kind of what that means. And it's a concept that's pretty straightforward, but we probably don't use the language to describe it as such. Um, Social class is something we don't really talk about a lot in certainly in this country. Your class is something that absolutely shapes a lot of things. I think perhaps when you wrote your socialization paper, you kind of delved into that a little bit in terms of access to education or healthcare or different pieces of self that are kind of tied to what opportunities are made available to you based on basically resources, right? Nothing about that is anything that you've earned or not earned. We call those ascribed statuses, the class that you grew up in. But it's very interesting to kind of contemplate it. So when you watch the film, which you can access here or you can access up here, either way, it doesn't matter. Um, I want you to trip off of some of the things that they talk about because there's some situations in there. There's a woman named Tammy. I think her story is very salient to understanding social class, but then also they talk about bread and how bread is a social class issue. And so I'd ask you to kind of, before you watch the film, think about bread and think about what that tells you about a person's social class. It's kind of funny, right? Um, so basically, we are at the last module before the midterm, okay? You can probably just sort of see this kind of gray, but you have a midterm. You have a midterm that's due basically April 7th, which is, I do believe, it'll come out next Sunday, and then you'll have a week to write it. So it's a take home. So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to get 9 questions, I believe, because we've had 9 chapters. And so there's going to be a question based on each of the modules, and you're going to have a week to respond to those questions. Since it's take home, please do editing on it. Please do your best work. Um, there's specific instructions in there, and this isn't the week to talk about it. I'll talk to you about it next week. But basically, all the resources that are on the modules are testable material, right? So if you're doing social class this week, social stratification, excuse me, you're definitely looking at the reading, but you're also looking at the film, right? And maybe you're looking at your fellow students' really cool post on social class. You're like, oh my God, that is so important. I'm going to include that in my midterm response. So all of it's testable material. One of the things I like about online is that you guys get to drive the discussions, in certain directions. And I'm thankful for that because you bring up things that I might not bring up. And so all of that is stuff that you can incorporate into the exam. Okay? But so we'll talk more about that next week. But in any case, enjoy the week on social class. Think about bread. Think about what you would do to earn a minimum wage job. How far would you go? How far would you walk? Would you walk? Why not? What does social class have to do with it? Just think about social class and social stratification and how society is stratified and how that relates to your own lived experience. All right? So have a great day, and I look forward to your posts. Take care.